Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Thank you. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Whatever mistakes I make, please forgive me and correct me wherever I'm wrong. Uh, Thank you for being here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh my Lord, all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udine. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of converse, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Shukreshu Bhagaveshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the great devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes to the worship of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So today we are reading Canto 10 from chapter 14, verse number 24 to 28. Do we have the translations ready? So from verse 24 to 28, we'll read the translations first, and then we will specifically focus on text 26.
Of course, yeah.
Page 24. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sunlight spiritual master can see in this way. As the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusionary material existence.
Text 25. A person who mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but he then gives up his fear upon realizing that the so-called snake does not exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the supreme soul of all souls, the expansive, illusory material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside.
Text 26. The conception of material body and the conception of liberation and both manifestation of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, they cease to exist when one correctly understands that the pure spirit soul is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At that time, bondage and liberation no longer have any significance, just as day and night have no significance from the perspective of the sun.
To see the foolishness of those ignorant persons who consider you to be some separated manifestation of illusion and who consider the self which is actually you to be something else, the material body. Such fools conclude that the Supreme Soul is to be searched for somewhere outside your Supreme Personality.
Text 28 for yourself.
O unlimited Lord, the saintly devotees seek you out within their own bodies by rejecting everything separate from you. Indeed, how can discriminating persons appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before them until they refute the illusion that is the same?
Thank you. So now we'll move to text 26. अज्ञान संज्ञो भवबंध मोक्षो द्वनाम नान्योस्तरितज्ञ भावात् अजस्र चित्यात्मनि केवले परे विचार्यमाणे तरणा विवाहनी
अज्ञान संज्ञो भवबंध मोक्षो
अज्ञान संज्ञो भवबंध मोक्षो यो नाम नान्योस्तरितज्ञ भावात् अजस्र चित्यात्मनि केवले परे विचार्यमाणे तरणा विवाहनी. The first line. अज्ञान संज्ञो भवबंध मोक्षो यो नाम नान्योस्तरितज्ञ भावात् अजस्र चित्यात्मनि केवले परे विचार्यमाणे तरणा विवाहनी. अज्ञान संज्ञो भवबंध मोक्षो Thank you. नाम नान्योस्तरितज्ञ भावात् अजस्र चित्यात्मनि केवले परे विचार्यमाणे तरणा विवाहनी.
अज्ञान संज्ञो
Ajnana Sangyo Bhavabandha Moksho. Donamananyo Staratagya Bhavat. Ajasra Chityatmani Kevale Pare. Vicharyamane Tarana Vivahani. Ajnana Sangyo Bhavabandha Moksho. Donamananyo Staratagya Bhavat. Ajasra Chityatmani Kevale Pare. Vicharyamane Tarana Vivahani. So repeat after me. Agyan, manifesting from ignorance. Sangyo, which designations. Bhavabandha, bondage to material existence. Moksho, and liberation. Dvo, the two. Nam, indeed. Na, not. Anayu, separate. Staha, are. Rita, true. Gyan Bhavat, Gya Bhavat, from knowledge. Ajasra Chitti, whose awareness is unimpeded. Atmani, the spirit soul. Kevale, who is separate from matter. Pare, who is pure. Vicharyamane, when he is properly distinguished. Taranam, within the sun. Eva, just as. Ahani, day and night. The conception of material bondage and the conception of liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, they cease to exist when one correctly understands that the spirit soul, the pure spirit soul, is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At that time, bondage and liberation no longer have any significance, just as day and night have no significance from the perspective of the sun. Prabhu, Monil Prabhu, would you read the first paragraph of purport?
Material bondage is illusion, because the living entity actually has no real relationship with the material world. Because of false ego, the conditioned soul identifies himself with matter. Therefore, so-called liberation is simply the giving up of an illusion rather than release from actual bondage. Yet, even if you think that the suffering of material illusion is real and that illusion is thus a meaningful release from suffering, the mere absence of material existence is still insignificant compared to the achievement of factual spiritual life, which is a positive eternal reality opposed to the negative illusion of material life. Ultimately, Krishna consciousness or pure love of Godhead is the only significant, meaningful, and permanent status for every living entity.
One from here.
Since the darkness of night is caused by the absence of the sun, one would not experience night within the sun itself, nor would one experience individual days separated by the nights. Similarly, within the pure living entity, there is no material darkness and thus no experience of liberation from such darkness. When the conditioned soul comes to this platform of pure consciousness, he becomes fit to associate with the Supreme Pure, the personality of Godhead himself, in the Lord's own abode.
Everything is already clear. We'll start with a simple question. Who is the most intelligent being in this universe? Brahma. Yes, Prabhu. Huh?
Ganesha,
Ganesha. How?
because he was given that moon, right?
The most intelligent being.
Krishna?
No, Brahma, obviously. Brahma. Why Brahma? How Brahma? We will discuss that now. How Brahma?
Because he's made of intelligence.
Anything else to it?
Because he's the creator.
Because he was the first, he's the firstborn or the first living entity who was directly born from the lotus flower coming out of the navel of Lord Vishnu. So he's the first recipient of the divine Vedic knowledge. He received it through Lord Vishnu himself. So Lord Brahma is the most learned living entity in this universe with the longest lifespan. And he is singing these verses. Why? What happened that he had to sing all these verses where Lord Brahma is saying that liberation and bondage is just like both are, kind of manifestations of ignorance. Why?
Because he was bewildered. He was not able to understand Krishna.
Any story of the past time, if anyone likes to would like to discuss?
So, when Krishna was playing with his cowherd boyfriends in Vrindavan, so his activities were very bewildering to Brahma because he was eating with his left hand and he was eating the stuff that was already eaten by his cowherd friends. And as a god, we offer something very pure to Krishna. So then when Brahma saw this, he was like, this god is wearing like flower garlands, no jewels on his hands, and he's playing with his cowherd boyfriends, and they're doing all this activities like ordinary people do. He cannot be a god. So then he tried to play with Krishna in the sense that he stole the cowherd boyfriends and cows and he hid them somewhere. But then when he came back, he saw that everything was normal and nothing was changed. So then he realized that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he expanded himself to be those cowherd boys and those calves. And then he could see that every single expansion was Vishnu with four-handed forms, and all of them were offering worship to Krishna. So that happened. That's why to ask for forgiveness from Krishna, he's saying all these verses.
Thank you, Prabhu. Explained it so well. Brahmaji, as we discussed, like is the most learned being. Still, he forgot who Krishna is. So the act that he did was kind of out of ignorance, or how would you explain it? Because all the knowledge in this universe flows through Brahma. In the disciplic succession, we receive it. So how was it that he did such an act? Yes.
Brahma being a manifestation of Krishna, he's fully under Krishna's control. So, like one way, many different ways you could describe it. One way you could describe it is simply saying that Krishna left the Maya of illusion in front of Brahma's eyes so that he couldn't see. So that's the game they're playing with each other.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, it could be because of Yog Maya. Krishna wanted to do this Leela for us to get educated. That the most learned living entity can be a victim of forgetfulness. What to speak of us actually? What else could be another reason? It doesn't have to be specific. What do you think? In a very simple way. What do you how would you understand it? Like Brahma is like power, authority, intelligence, knowledge, wisdom.
You cannot understand Krishna by all this.
True, actually. Like Brahmaji has explained as well, that intelligence alone is not sufficient to understand Krishna. So the way Brahmaji was trying to understand was not out of ignorance, we can say, but he was trying to, or I would say intelligence was trying to measure the infinite, and which is kind of quite impossible. That's another way of looking at it. So these verses come from broken pride, from the realization of your real identity, where you have realized your real swarup, that yes, you are the Father, you are the source of everything. I happen to be created in this universe, but you are the source of this creation. So it's from that experience, that realization, that from that awakening of Swarupa. Uh, just another way of understanding it, a father knows past, present of his son, to an extent future as well. But a son cannot know the origin of the father. He hasn't experienced, he hasn't seen, he hasn't witnessed. But the father has witnessed, the son can't witness that. It's another way of looking at it. So through Brahma, Krishna wanted us to understand, through Brahma, Krishna wanted us to understand that our real identity is not based on intelligence only. It's beyond that. And in these verses, we will try to understand that in a very simple way. I'm going to make mistakes, correct me. Whatever questions you have, please jump with your questions. There are two terms that we have seen repeatedly mentioned. Bondage and liberation. What is bondage?
Attachments, unattached,
Mm-hmm.
anything which is taking you away from Krishna or stopping you going there.
In like 3 or 4 words, just kind of describe it, Max.
Obstructions in the path of Krishna consciousness. That's 6 words, but okay.
That make it more beautiful, actually. Anything else you'd like to add? Yeah?
Something that restrains us.
Mm-hmm. Means bondage, you're trapped. Sorry, you wanted to say something?
Just attachments and aversions.
Yes. Yeah. Bondage means you are trapped. And what is liberation?
You're free.
You'll become free. Would anyone like to mention any other meaning of liberation? Yes.
I think something really interesting about liberation itself is that in and of itself it becomes a game of the false ego as well. Oh, look at me, I'm getting enlightened. I really got to get liberated. Look at me go. And all of a sudden you're stuck in a bondage made out of that very thought form that you created for yourself.
True. How many of you are here feel tired right now? Not physically. Yes, tired of like pressure, the anxiety that you feel, the inner turbulence that you feel, the expectations, tired of proving yourself. No one else?
Not today,
Who wants to get liberated? Who wants to get liberated? Do you want to get liberated? Liberation means, here, freedom from your anxiety, the inner pressure, freedom from those expectations or other things.
Liberation is the first step, so you have to get free from this cycle.
Okay. So let me ask you another question. Yeah, you were saying something, please.
I'm just thinking wherever you're at in the process of liberating yourself, whatever that means. If one can remember that Krishna is doing everything and controlling everything and that everything's happening in its due time because he's the supreme controller, you can find yourself a sense of trust and satisfaction that right where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. It couldn't possibly be any other way. And in training the mind to notice when you're going, I shouldn't be here right now, I don't like how this is, I want it to be colder, hotter, more this, less that, whatever it is. To say, okay, well, this is where I'm supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to be learning right now.
True, it comes with awakening of the knowledge and Swarupa, that's for sure. So another question comes, like you said, Prabhu, it's the beginning. But Bhagavatam says, even ignorance is also, liberation is also ignorance. So absence of sufferings cannot be happiness, or can it be? Absence of suffering or miseries cannot be happiness. You cannot free someone who is not bound. If someone who is already free, you cannot free them. They are not bound at all. We'll try to understand it with another example. I try to make some examples. It's kind of a little funny, but I hope it will help you understand. How many of you see nightmares or weird kind of dreams when you're asleep? Or experienced in your life someday in the past? So have you seen the kind of dreams when you feel like, when you experience that you are trapped? You try to fight, you try to run away, you just get so panic and you start crying as well in your dreams. And then what happens? You wake up. The whole situation where you were trapped, trying to run away, you were panicking, there was bondage. And when you woke up, it just kind of felt like a relief, liberation. That relief was like that. But when you are awake, when you wake up, does liberation have any meaning at that time? Were you really trapped? You were not trapped. It was just a dream. You were free. Like the same thing we can understand with another example. But this is not an example, it's a question. Somebody is dreaming that they are in a jail. What do they need?
Waking up.
Is it a lawyer? What did you-
Yeah, I guess a lawyer.
a lawyer? Or anything else?
Well, I would think that if they were stuck in a dream and they were in a jail cell, that means like they can't get out of the dream. Like they're kind of stuck in the dream a little bit, right? So I think something that would be really helpful is having someone who's they themselves figured out how to escape out of a dream come to teach you to begin to recognize where the dream is and what the dream looks like, so that you can begin to identify it as illusion itself.
In the dream, you don't think I'm dreaming. In the dream, it just feels so real.
Right.
Your body kind of respond to the situations taking place in your brain. I mean,
If
in
you
your
have someone
dream.
that's managed to escape a dream, come back into the dream and go, hey, look at that, that's a dream, that's a dream, this is all a dream. You start to see that it's a dream too, slowly but surely.
No, when you see that everything is a dream, that's a kind of self-realized stage of life. But yes, you don't need a lawyer at that time. You need an alarm clock, right, to wake you up. So, the problem is not the jail. The bondage is not the jail. It's the dream. The liberation is not the lawyer, but you need the alarm clock. You need the knowledge. You need the knowledge at that time. As it was mentioned in the first verse number 24, that with the spiritual knowledge from a spiritual master, that knowledge helps us to see the reality. That knowledge removes the ignorance. Then we can see the reality. Another example was mentioned in the same verse about day and night. So from the sun's perspective, it's mentioned that there's day and night, right? From sun's perspective.
There is no night from the sun's perspective.
Thank you. From Earth's perspective, there's a day and night?
Yes.
Yes. So from the sun's perspective, there is no day, there is no night. But from the Earth's perspective, yes, there is a day, there is a night. Sun would not say like, oh, it's night, I need to sleep. It's always shining. Similarly, from the body's perspective, there is bondage and liberation. But from the soul's perspective, there is neither. Soul is always shining. It's not bound at all. You are wearing glasses, you are wearing sunglasses, and your glasses are dirty. Your goggles are kind of dirty, and the vision is very distorted. You can't see anything clear. You clean the glasses, everything is clear after cleaning the glasses. But your eyes were same. Your eyes had the same vision. It's just the glasses that was needed to be clear. Any questions? Thank you. Easy question.
So you beautifully mentioned that from the sun's perspective there is no day and night. Similarly, from soul's perspective there is no bondage or liberation. Then what is this?
Yes, I mean, that's a nice question. And Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, verse number 2.20, in a very precise way. Let's read that one. Bhagavad Gita 2.20, that soul is never bound, soul is unborn, it's eternal, it's full of consciousness. It can't be slain. Krishna will explain everything in the, Prabhupada has explained everything in the purport as well. 2.20, yes. Amla, it's your turn to read.
For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
Do you want us to read specific?
Let's read. It's a very beautiful purport. It helped me understand a lot of things. One paragraph only. Okay, go ahead.
Qualitatively, the small atomic fragment part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. Sometimes the soul is called the steady or kudastha.
So body changes so many times in one lifetime. Like you're a child, then you become boy, then adulthood, then old age, and then you die. If you identify yourself as a body, then changes so many times. It doesn't remain same. Then how many times you die and you are born in one lifetime? Are you getting my point on this? So it's the soul, the body, is subject to change.
The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformation. It takes birth from the womb of mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death, and because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we see the history of birth, etc. of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old, as the body does. The so-called old man therefore feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes of the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree or anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of body, namely children, are also different individual souls. And owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor change. Therefore, the soul is free from 6 changes of body.
Thank you, Prabhu. And the last paragraph, I guess it is after this. Devanshi Prabhu, would you like to read?
The meaning and the purport of this verse is the same as in Bhagavad Gita. But here, in this verse, there is one special word, vipashya, which means learned or with knowledge. The soul is full of knowledge or full always with consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within the heart where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by the presence of consciousness. Sometimes we do not find the sun in the sky owing to the clouds or for some other reason, but the light of the sun is always there, and we are convinced that it is there for daytime. As soon as there is a little light in the sky early in the morning, we can understand that the sun is in the sky. Similarly, since there is some consciousness in all bodies, whether man or animal, we can understand the presence of the soul. This consciousness of the soul is, however, different from the consciousness of the Supreme, because the Supreme Consciousness is all knowledge, past, present, and future. The consciousness of the individual soul is prone to be forgetful. When he is forgetful of his real nature, he obtains education and enlightenment from the superior lessons of Krishna. But Krishna is not like the forgetful soul. If so, Krishna's teachings of Bhagavad Gita would be useless. There are two kinds of souls, namely the minute particle soul, Anu Atma, and the super soul, Vibhu Atma. This is also confirmed in the Katha Upanishad in this way. Both the super soul, Paramatma, and the atomic soul, Jivatma, are situated on the same tree of the body within the same heart of the living being, and only one who has become free from all material desires as well as lamentations can, by the grace of the Supreme, understand the glories of the soul. Krishna is the fountainhead of the super soul also, and it will be disclosed in the following chapters. And Arjuna is the atomic soul, forgetful of his real nature. Therefore, he requires to be enlightened by Krishna or by his bona fide representative, the spiritual master.
Jay, thank you. So now there are some questions from this verse, from this purport. Since the soul is not bound, it is conscious, then why do we suffer?
Because of our attachment with the body.
Okay,
Specifically, the identification that we are the body.
thank you. No, that's true. Any word that's specifically mentioned here?
Materialistic desires.
Materialistic desire, 100%. That's the specific word from here.
Soul takes birth, but soul never dies.
Of course, that's why. Then why does it
Body also
suffer?
exists.
Body dies. So somebody who is dying will be born. But soul doesn't die, so it doesn't born. It's not born. Forgetfulness.
Why doesn't the soul die?
Soul is eternal as Krishna.
Why not?
Because Krishna is eternal,
And
full of knowledge.
he made the soul. Only self.
Soul is a part and parcel of Krishna.
Everything that he creates includes all of the qualities that he has himself.
Yes, he does. With all the qualities, but quantity wise, we are not as Krishna. Yes, we are limited. So we are allowed to forget. We are not forced to forget anything, but yes, because of our free will, we are allowed to forget when we want to enjoy separate from Krishna. So we don't need liberation, but we need remembrance of our true self, of our real identity. You just, as they say, like the gold doesn't need to be purified. It's just the contaminations on it has to be removed through a certain process. We put it in the fire and all. That's how the contaminations are removed. So you're already pure. You're a conscious soul. You just have to remember it. Right now you're identifying yourself with the body. You want to enjoy separate from Krishna. And the enjoyment separate from Krishna is suffering in itself. There's an example that I love a lot. I read from the first introduction part of Ishopanishad, where there's an example of a human body. Like in a human body, we have eyes, we have hands, we have legs. Eyes are kind of helping us to see everything. Hands are helping us to eat right and do all the other things. Legs are also doing a great job taking us from one point to another point. Tongue is doing its kind of beautiful job, sometimes helping us making friends and sometimes making enemies. But all the body parts are kind of working. And they all are feeding the stomach, who doesn't seem to be doing anything tangibly. We can't see his stomach doing anything with our eyes. If the hands say that I'm working hard, I'm writing, I'm doing, I'm taking you, I'm just because of me you have a job, and then brain says like no, because of me you have a job. But all the body parts are kind of doing a lot of services just to serve the stomach, and stomach is not doing anything. Now they say like no, it's not fair with us. will not do it anymore. Now hands say, I will not do anything to serve the stomach. I will not put food in the stomach, in your mouth, so it goes in the stomach. No, rather I will just polish myself. Will have nice tattoos on it, and I will just will put some good cream on it. Can a hand be satisfied with that? No matter how beautiful you can make it, how beautiful you can decorate it won't be satisfied. Eyes cannot be satisfied if the stomach is not fulfilled. All the units are very important, all the units are complete in itself, but they are complete as long as they are connected to the source, which is the stomach. Their completeness have a meaning when they are serving the source. The same way, as long as we are serving Krishna, understanding ourselves as servants of Krishna, we are happy. And it's not a kind of slavery. It's like your natural self. Like the way the nature of water is to flow, the nature of fire is to give heat, and eye is to see. The same way, as a soul, our happiness is in serving Krishna. We do it through devotees. So in Chaitanya Charitra Amrit, it's mentioned that the real identity, the real swarup of a soul is that we are Krishna's eternal servant. Jivera swarup hai Krishnera nitya das. When we are in our real self, when the fish is in the water, the fish is happy. So as long as when we are doing our job, we are happy. We don't need anything else. That's how I understood in a simple way. Yes, hands, every single thing Krishna has designed with their individuality, like every living entity has their individual identity. Nothing is smaller, nothing is bigger. The pancreas, the blood, heart, everything has its own importance. And when they are working together, they are happy, they are serving when they are together serving the source, they are always happy. Wow, that was so simple. Thank you. Any questions from us? Simple questions only. Go ahead.
I've just heard either from you or from you, Antariksh Prabhu, that whatever Krishna makes, he gives all his qualities. So I was wondering, like, Krishna has made this table. This is not Sachidananda. Krishna made it. So this statement of that Krishna has made something, he gives his qualities. So how does this make sense?
We are part and parcel of Krishna. This is a material world. It's different from matter. You are a soul. You are a living entity. You have consciousness. This matter doesn't have. So this material world, as it said, that material world is permanent, but the manifestations in this material world are temporary. Even your body, what to speak of the table, is also temporary. It's made up of 5 elements, it's also temporary. But the soul inside it, that's permanent. As long as you feel you see things through your false ego, identify yourself as body, oh, I am son, I am husband, I am brother, I am this and that. When you consider yourself, then yes, you are fully attached to the things, and then that wrong identification or misidentification lead to all the sufferings and miseries. So Krishna comes in every atom from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right? In every atom in this material world, Krishna, because of him, it exists. In every living entity, as a super soul, as Paramatma, he resides. When we read Mahabharata after the war was done, it's a kind of Kshatriya ritual that once you have won the war, you would go to the place where your enemies were residing at their tents. So they were just there, and Arjun was about to get off the chariot, and Krishna stops him, like, don't do it. Arjun was asking Krishna to get off the chariot first, and then I would do. And then Krishna mentions, if I do, then nothing will exist. You will not exist at all. So first Krishna allows him to live, then he lives. So because of the super soul, the living entity is there in this body. As soon as the super soul walks out, nothing left. The living entity is nothing. So yes, Paramatma exists in every single thing, and because of him, all these manifestations are there to serve us. Was it somewhere making sense here?
Yeah.
Anything that you have that you want to explain, or
Yes, so,
please?
Like, if Krishna has made my soul, it's Satchidanand, full of knowledge, full of bliss. And also Krishna made a lot of things which are not Satchidanand nature.
You are a part and parcel of Krishna, Prabhu. You are a living entity. You are eternal, but these manifestations are temporary. These are material. You please go ahead. Share your opinions.
Like I think what you're struggling with a little bit is that you're recognizing that this is illusion, but you're not seeing it as Krishna. You know what I'm saying? And there's a tension that exists between intellectually understanding that each and every molecule is of Krishna, but our actual experience of that we're separate beings. So, as the soul remembers what it always was and always is, and is always there at that place, always held within Krishna's abode, you can see that through the process of learning to recognize Krishna's presence everywhere, these very items become the tools by which Krishna teaches us to see that he is everything. Like, think about the state of a person who's very asleep, right? They walk around, they don't understand that we're souls, they don't see that we're all held within Krishna's love, and they think we're all separated and we live and die. But at the other end of that scale, you can see someone who's fully in God bliss, who sees that everywhere, everything they see is Krishna. And not just telling themselves that intellectually, but really experiencing it that way. The training of the mind through the process of learning Krishna consciousness is what takes you to that state through that process. And it's why having someone like Prabhupada, who has learned to wake up from the dream, teaches how to recognize the dream as such. And through the recognition of the dream being simply a dream, that begins to become the tool by which Krishna wakes us up. Does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Its manifestations are like dream. It's neither true nor false, but it's temporary. Prabhu, would you like to explain this thing? Thank you. Yes.
Yes, I think, so Prabhu, you're trying to understand that this table is matter. Why is it not spirit? Why is it not Satchidanand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I understand is that whatever comes from Krishna, Krishna is complete, and whatever comes from Krishna is also complete. Om Purnamada Purnamada, right?
Yeah.
So this material world is also complete in itself. So this is the purpose of material world, to be temporary and to have temporary things like this, which is matter, not spirit. But in spiritual world, everything is conscious. So what you're trying to say makes sense there. From Krishna, there are like there is soil, earth, there is milk. Now milk is also conscious there. We hear in stories. So everything in spiritual world is conscious, but here this material world is made with temporary things for us to understand that this is not the place for us to be. We are spirit souls and we are supposed to be in that spiritual world. So I feel like that is why this material world is made in this way.
So it's Dukhalam, Ashashvatam. Everything is temporary. Your body, your relations, people who you are with, situations that you are dealing with. Right now it feels like everything is good, and after sometimes everything goes wrong, and then everything becomes good. It's temporary. Material world is the manifestations in this material world are temporary. Just like your dream is temporary, everything you manifest in your dream is temporary. That's how this is also a dream. You're going to wake up and you'll be in your spiritual world. So again, this whole process, as it was mentioned, that when with Krishna's mercy you have Guru in your life, Guru brings the torchlight of knowledge and removes the ignorance, the darkness of ignorance, you realize your true identity. The remembrance is brought back to you, the forgetfulness is removed by the path of bhakti, by the knowledge that Guru provides you, And then when you remember your true self, your real identity, you are happy. When you act according to it, you're happy. That's all. Yes, Prabhu.
I want to thank you for the class because the analogies you used are very easy and simple to understand, very practical. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Also, I'm very happy because where else in the middle of a city like Toronto will you have it's 8 in the morning, people sitting in Sadbachungars discussing things like all these kind of things. So we're actually very lucky that we can have these conversations. If you go out, you hang out with people, you want to have these. Maybe once a year, you might get us deep. The only thing we gotta be careful is we stay away from speculation. We rely on shastras while we discuss, but the sentiment is very pure, and we should all be grateful to be a part of such a setup here.
True, association is everything on this path of understanding, knowing, or awakening of your Swarupa. Association is very important to keep you reminding that even the most intelligent being can be a victim of forgetfulness. So just be with the association, be connected to your true self. We are very blessed for everything that we have here.
I just wanted to clarify because now I'm confused. Would it be okay to say that Krishna created the soul or something? Because now we just said that it never came to birth. Either it takes birth or not, it dies. And then also Prabhupada mentioned that you are part and parcel of Krishna. The verse you were mentioning, Om Purnamada Purnamida, Prabhupada is mentioning like a part of man is no, it's actually the part of, but it's just got separated. So it's never mentioned, according to what I know, that soul take birth. Because Krishna also mentioned that Arjuna, there was never a time when you and I were not there. So would it be right to say Krishna created the soul, or
Krishna created
the soul?
whole what material world?
No, soul.
You are already Krishna's part and parcel. You are already there. I mean, your existence, like you're not born, you do not die. You're unborn. You're eternal. Since you're eternal, then why are you looking for when I was born, when I was created? When something is created, it has a kind of beginning and end. That comes in material world. Your body, the manifestations here, all these things are created. That's why it's called ashashvat, temporary. When the soul had a desire to enjoy separate from Krishna, yes, you are a soul, you are a complete unit. Your hands are a complete unit. Your ears are a complete unit in itself. But they are complete, they would make sense only they are connected to the body. Your hands are complete, just kind of cut them and put them separate and then keep them in the refrigerator. They don't serve any purpose. They are like useless. But yes, when your hands are connected to the body, they serve a purpose. Now they are useful. They have a meaning in life now. The same way we have a meaning in life after coming here. Life has a purpose. So all we need to do, we don't need to go for liberation. We don't need to fight for all those things. We just need to go for remembrance of our true self. And for that, we need to be staying connected to the association. Just push yourself to be coming to the temple. That's all we need to do to push ourselves to be here, and then everything else will already take place. I mean, Krishna knows how to get those things done. Hare Krishna, brothers. Thank you.